Alright, welcome guys to a video going over this remaining homework problems, number 2, and then looks like 8 through 12. 6 more questions. Here we go. So, as a reminder, whenever you have a perfect square form, you immediately need to take the square root of both sides of the equation, and that creates 2 separate equations. The positive one and the negative one. Unfortunately, the square root of 99 is not something that we just know off the top of our heads. We have to go ahead and divide. It's the same numbers we've been dividing by for quite a while. We need to make sure that we divide by 4, 9, 16, 25, ... We should have this entire list written down in our notebook. And the reason why is quite simple. It's because the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 25 is 5. So on and so forth. We're going to divide by one of these so we can reduce it. 99, I believe, is easy enough just to realize that it can divide by 9. Specifically, I can rewrite this as x plus 2 equals... and actually, usually we do this off to the side. So we're going to write square root of 99 off to the side of the problem. And then we're going to say, hey, that divides by 9. Use a calculator. 99 divided by 9 is 11. And then after that, we can just go ahead and rewrite this as 3 square root of 11. So that's what I'm going to write here. So again, square root of 9 is 3. That's what we know over here. Same thing happens over here, except we have the negative version. I don't know why I didn't put a negative on that earlier. Then you're done. Subtract the 2 over for both of them. X is negative 2 plus 3 square root of 11. And x equals negative 2 minus 3 square root of 11. Nothing else to do on this question. Man, that was a really crappy looking 11 there. Please do not make sure you're doing any more after that. That is the end of the question. Nothing else to do. These cannot add. They're not like terms. Let's try the next problem down to number 8. So number 8 here, we're going to go ahead and first take that 7. It needs to move over to the other side of the equation. You don't have to write that step if you don't feel like it. You can just write the 120. I understand if you do that. After you've done this, we need to divide both sides of the equation by 2, just so you have it for your notes in the event that you're writing these down in your notebook to help you out on the next quiz or test. We can go ahead and divide. So, dividing by 2 on both sides of the equation. When you do that, the 2's cancel. 120 divided by 2 in your calculator, that's going to be 60. Continuing on, the square root of both sides of the equation once we're in perfect square form. Using our calculator, we can go off to the side up here and figure out that 60 divided by 4 works out for us. And 15, which is going to give us 2 square root of 15. And then we just subtract 2 on both sides and we're all done. Nothing else to it. These problems kind of just finish themselves, you know. Oh man. They finish themselves as long as you don't screw up, you know. Negative 2 minus 2 are at 15. Because we have negative 2 moves over, but that negative 2 is still there. So just be careful with that. All done with that problem. Let's move on to the back side. Alright, number 9. So this one's a little bit deceptive, and the reason why it's a little bit deceptive is because I don't have that extra squared thing, and some people get confused looking at that. Don't. Just go ahead and make sure we add 6 to both sides first. So 36x squared equals 115 plus 6, which is 36x squared equals 121. Better divide both sides by 36. 36 is canceled. Nothing cancels over here. You can't do anything to it. But we have to do the square root of both sides of the equation. That square root goes over the whole thing, which means that our square root goes on the top and bottom separately. I am running out of room here. And the square root of 121 we can just do on our calculator if we really needed to. In the event that you forgot because it wasn't at the end of your list, you can always check to see if something has a square root. So we're going to hit the second button. And if you hit the second button followed by the x squared button, it has that cute little square root right there. Square root shows up in 121. That'll give us 11. So it turns out that x is 11, and then square root of 36 is 6. So we got x is 11 and negative 11 over 6. Got both of those answers. What in the world? Something is like, wasn't working right when I wrote. Huh. All right. Anyways, there is that. We definitely need a calculator for the next one, so I'm going to make sure I'm going to zoom out when I do this next one here so that we can definitely see what we have to do on this calculator. As a reminder, for any calculator help that you need at home, you should be using that Wolfram Alpha website. So just to show you how that would work if we wanted it to work, I'm going to go ahead and open up one of these guys. Let's do that. Alright, so just give me a second. I'm going to open up a window. Let's make sure this is going to work here. So window capture, Wolfram Alpha. Let's do it. Alright, let's transition over here. Boom, transitioned. So here's Wolfram Alpha. So on this question, for instance, you need to start off the problem by doing 13 over 8, and you're going to have to subtract 1. So when you're at home, you can just do 13 divided by 8. Then subtract 1 and hit enter. And if you do that, it tells you right away it's 5 over 8. It also decimalizes it for you, puts it on a number line, it does all kinds of stuff. The Egyptian fraction expansion, I literally don't even know what that means, but I kind of want to Google that later. I think I might Google that later tonight just so I can find out what that means. I'm kind of interested now. Anyways, 13 over 8 minus 1, we get 5 over 8. So the very first step on this question was to subtract 1 on both sides. Let's transition away from this window capture, transition back. Awesome. So subtracting 1 on both sides over there, we're going to have this guy moved over here to be minus 1, and we just did that on our Wolfram Alpha. Please note you could have also done it on our calculator that we've been using, the alpha y equals enter that we've been doing for so long. And if we just do it just like that, 13 over 8 minus 1, that'll work for us too. I'm just trying to give you guys lots of options as to what you should be doing here. I'm not going to show the calculator for the rest of the problem because I don't need it myself. However, you should be using a calculator for every single step that involves fractions to make your life easier. After this, for the very next step, I'm going to copy it so you have it for your notes if you need to write it down. But you want to multiply the top and the bottom by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is the upside down of this side, so we can get the square by itself. So it's 2 over 5 here, so times 2 over 5 here. Cancels completely. Note that the 5's cancel over here. And over here we end up with a 2 and an 8. That becomes a 1 and a 4. More cross-canceling all over the place. But again, if you want to, type into your calculator. You know what? I will show it. I changed my mind. If you go over here and you hit alpha y equals enter, and you type in 5 over 8 multiplied by alpha y equals enter 2 over 5, it'll reduce it to 1/4 for you. So it does that work for you. Do not be afraid of these guys. Just do the work on the calculator. I'm totally running out of room here, so I'm going to kind of do a little skirt off to the side here. And there we go. We got x minus 1 over 3 equals the square roots of 1 over 4. And you get x minus 1 over 3 equals the square root of 1 over 4, this time with a negative in front. Again, off to the side, we're going to take care of that square root. So take care of the square root off to the side. The square root of 1 over 4 is the same thing as the square root of 1 over the square root of 4, which is 1 over 2. Square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. Maybe you want to write it over here instead. I don't know how you want to write it. Either way, we can rewrite this as x minus 1 over 3 equals 1 over 2, and x minus 3 equals negative 1 over 2. Adding on both sides of the equation, finally, we're going to get 1 over 3 plus 1/2, and x equals 1 over 3 minus 1/2. Use your calculator to your advantage. Again, use that same fraction button. Use your Wolfram Alpha, whatever it is that you want to use, and we can get 5 divided by 6 here. And if you do it on this one, you'll get negative 1 over 6. Fraction problem done. Scariest problem over with. Let's finish this up. Nice and easy ones coming up next. So number 11. Whew. All right, number 11. We've got to add 115 on both sides first. Okay, did it. Now we got to divide both sides by 8. Again, I'm showing this extra step just for your notes if you get confused as to what happened next. Whew, running out of room here. All right, so here we are. And now we got to take the square root of both sides. And again, off to the side of the question is what we got to do. We got to go to the side to take care of the square root of 121 over 8. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go up here. We're going to write the square root of 121 over 8. And that's going to be the square root of 121 on the top, the square root of 8 on the bottom. Now the square root of 121 is itself right away. We can just write 11 over the square root of 8. But the square root of 8 can reduce. Square root of 8 reduces to square root of 4 times square root of 2. Man, I'm running out of room. Oh no. I don't have enough room in my paper. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, you end up getting 11 over 2 rad 2 because square root of 4 is 2, square root of 2. We're not done yet. We need to take that 11 over 2 rad 2 and multiply by square root of 2 over that square root of 2. That's called rationalizing the denominator. That's making sure this square root of 2 goes away. We get 11 square root of 2 over 4. Because 2, and remember that this guy combines with this guy. If you're struggling with that step, want to go back to one of the earlier videos to deal with that guy. Finally, we can rewrite this. And we got 11 square root of 2 over 4. And m plus 8 equals negative 11 square root of 2 over 4. Finally, subtract the 8, and we've finished this question. Why did I write equal sign? That's supposed to be a plus. I'm just rewriting it. I'm done with that. I give up. You couldn't even see it anyways. All right. M equals negative 8 plus 11 square root of 2 over 4. And m equals negative 8, because I'm moving that 8 to the other side. Minus 11 square root of 2 over 4. Whew! Enough effort on this question was taken. One more problem, and you can't even see it because I've had so many like different arrows going everywhere. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm just going to grab another color so we can clearly see it. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, we going pink on this guy. So we're going to go ahead and add the 5 to the other side first. So we got 4 times x minus 2 squared equals 40 plus 5. We got 4 times x minus 2 squared equals 45. Divide both sides by 4. This time I'm not showing that extra step. I don't want to do it this time. Take the square root of both sides of the equation. We got x minus 2 equals the square root of 45, and x minus 2 equals negative square root of 45. And again, we are going off to the side to take care of the square root of 45. Square root of 9, square root of 5, because 45 is 9 times 5. 3 square root of 5. X minus 2 equals 3 square root of 5. X minus 2 equals negative 3 square root of 5. That's a negative sign. And we're all done. X equals 2 plus 3 rad 5, and x equals 2 minus 3 rad 5. Oof! We are finally finished. Good luck, guys. I will be posting another video with that test review very shortly. Have a good one.